I'm obviously a panda for some reason, but I dislike my voice, so I want to present to you about the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy through it. There are a few characters: Arthur Dent, whose house is about to be demolished; Ford Perfect, who saves Arthur off of Earth before it itself is demolished. Then we have Trillian, who apparently changed her name to that from Trish in the movie, so it's more spacey, but in the book it was always Trillian. We also have Bibli Brox, who stole Trillian away from Arthur, and who is also Ford's cousin. Last but not least, we have Marvin, the depressed prototype robot with a personality, and then the always upbeat ship software on the Heart of Gold ship, simply named Eddie. Oh, there are also the Vegans. They're the ones who demolished Earth, and in the movie, not the book, pursued Bibli Brox after he stole the Heart of Gold ship. In the book it was simply some police who died when Marvin depressed their ship with his talking, so it committed suicide, killing the two cops. The plot here is simple. Ford saved Arthur from his doomed planet to be demolished by the Vegans to make an interstellar highway, which they later find out they wouldn't need anymore anyway. Later the Vegans discovered them and read poetry to them, which is a dreadful thing, and threw them out of the airlock anyway, only to be picked up by the improbability drive on the Heart of Gold, which Bibli Brox stole to go find Magrathia. While on there they meet Trillian, whom Arthur explains Bibli Brox stole from him at a party when he was failing to flirt with her. They go to Magrathia, where they discover that Earth was built by mice and designed by a computer deep thought who was answering what is the meaning of life, which was 42, and made Earth for the humans to figure out the question to the answer. The white mice wanted to take Arthur's brain to get the question, but then he convinced them to make one up themselves. They did, were happy, and Arthur, Ford, Bibli Brox, and Trillian lived on the Heart of Gold. The only character that I think didn't fit was Bibli Brox. I pictured him more presidential instead of looking like a Viking on methamphetamine. Wouldn't you love to see Jim Carrey there? At least he's more groomed. I needed the help of another character to illustrate some points here. Alright, so what I pictured the same was the bar scene where Arthur and Ford are talking and Ford is trying to get Arthur to drink. I saw it as kind of an old, smoke-ruined bar with miserable people.
The only difference here was that there was a chick creeping in the background and not a guy. Boy, was she weird.
What the movie maker did better was illustrating deep thought. In the book it says its main console was installed in a specially designed executive office, mounted on an enormous executive desk of finest old mahogany topped with Rick ultra-red leather. The dark carpeting was discreetly sumptuous. Exotic pot plants and tastefully engraved prints of the principal computer programmers and their families were deployed liberally about the room, and stately windows looked out upon a tree-lined public square. Page 167.
Blah, boring, right? In the movie, deep thought was a giant statues of a square-headed man sitting in the thinking position, all in gold as Mayan-style festivities went around him. Way better than a stuffy office.
The worst thing in the movie was Arthur's house. It felt unrealistic that it was so isolated and quaint. I pictured it in a tiny bit more urban area. Maybe like the house from Up. It's strange talking about realism when discussing this book.
It's sad that they cut out Arthur and Ford trying to reason with the Vogon guard. It was amusing to see such a stupid creature walking around. The Vogon stopped dead and a look of immense stupidity seeped slowly over his face. Page 70.
Then there was added stuff, I guess just so the movie made sense. They stopped by a planet on their way to Magrathia where Bibli Brox owed a debt. Also on that planet they prayed to a giant handkerchief. So this let the audience know how Bibli Brox got the coordinated for Magrathia from the handkerchief people.